Okay.
Yeah, yesterday you were putting down the Rascal House.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the best restaurants. It's not in
Oh,
Florida.
you know something? I'm glad you mentioned that because I was listening to Hank going home yesterday, and they were talking about what are the 4 restaurants he wanted to recommend from some big shot from ESPN or ABC.
Yes.
And people were calling in with places, and the Rascal House, you couldn't pay me to eat there, number one. And then somebody mentioned the Forge, and Hank said, yeah, that would have been on my list. You know, Hank's a great guy, and he's eaten a lot of meals in his time. You can tell by looking at him. But I'm surprised that Hank gets sucked into these tourist trap joints. I mean,
it's been around since the early 50s. You get all the bread and
so
rolls.
The plague been around since a lot longer than that. You get all the bread and the rolls. You're one of these guys that goes in there and stuffs a bag with all the stuff. Come on,
right?
Well, there you go.
I got a $4 salad, and that's it, man.
Yeah, it's a place for schleppers like you. It's perfect. Well, Zygazun, happy for him. At least this guy's honest. These are the same people that put Pumpernicks out of business, by the way. Although there is that one open Pumpernicks, and I saw it that one day, and nobody ever told me where the hell it is. Somewhere there in Broward. I couldn't believe it. I thought Pumpernicks was all gone. Don't forget, the old farts down here put Pumpernicks out of business. Just like put the Wolfies on Lincoln Road, which used to be down there. They put them out of business. And someday they'll put the Wolfies on 21st and Collins out of business, which they might as well be, by the way. Because they're stealing all the silverware, and they're stealing everything. They bring along an extra bag, and they shove everything in there. And talk about being, they don't care. They shove in the coleslaw, the dill pickles, and so if there's a little hair in the bag, hey, we don't care, it's free. A few rolls, some silverware. Like that jackass years ago on INZ calls in, he's defending it. Some old yid calls me one night, well, we're paying for it. You're not paying for the silverware, pal. You're paying for a meal. You're not paying for the dishes and the silverware and everything that's not tied down. And he said, "Oi!" And they went out of business about 2 weeks later, that Pumpernicks. Oakland and Commercial on 441, there is a Pumpernicks. Let's hear it. They're making a comeback. Oh! Let's hope the old farts don't put them out of business again, because actually they're pretty good. I like Pumpernicks. In fact, to be honest with you, if I have to choose between them and that place and the old Rascals, maybe it isn't just the food at the Rascal House might be okay, but I can't get by the ambiance. I can't get by the clientele. Oy. You know what I'm talking about? I can't get by the clientele because I'm not from New York. Oy. Sonny, that should be your worst problem. I mean, just stop and think of it. I went in there just that one night, because the audience was egging me on. You got to go in there and try it. Go in there that one night. And this obnoxious, stereotypical waitress, she spills a glass of orange juice all over this poor kid's pants. He's dressed real nice, college-looking kid, nice pair of dress pants on. Spills it all over the place, and the orange juice is pouring off the table onto his pantaloons. And she doesn't make an effort to grab a towel. She looks at him, Sonny, that should be your worst problem. And she leisurely goes over to get a towel somewhere, and, by the time she gets back, he's wearing 2 gallons of orange juice in his pants. Crazy bitch. Now, that was only one experience. So if that happened, and then they sat a guy next to me, by the way, who came in with a T-shirt on, a real smarmy-looking guy with a T-shirt with the sleeves rolled up. Not cut off, but rolled up, and with tattoos all over the place. Yes. So somehow I had less than an appetizing experience with the grotesque rascals that time. Maybe that kind of colored my view on it. Oh, maybe that tainted my view.